Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles and Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Khorasan Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seals, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Benders, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits the funny hits and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you.
Population Daniels.
Chad Daniels, that is.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome,
so
sir.
happy
Thank you.
You are here.
I'm happy, too.
It is a joy.
We were in your state of, you live in upstate Minnesota, is that correct?
I
or
do.
no?
I've never heard it called that before. That's
Upstate
interesting.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
We're up in Brainerd.
Oh, yeah.
Up north.
Up north.
Yeah.
South Canada.
Yeah, that's right. It's basically right.
Just South Canada.
We look down on Bemidji in many ways. Not just literally.
We look down on it.
Bemidji.
My family used to go fishing in Bemidji.
Of course. That's where everyone went to hockey camp.
Yeah,
That's
in
right.
Bemidji, right?
Absolutely.
Bemidji. All right, we know our stuff.
But you are, just so people know, you are one of the best comedians out there doing it today.
Easily.
By
Easily
far.
one of the
And you said that. You told us that,
You
which
specific-
I am just going to take
I'm
your
just
word
reading
for
what,
it.
Read it off
I'm
the
reading
sheet,
what you
please.
asked
Thank
me to
you.
read.
We're reading what you
Chad.
brought in.
That would be great.
No.
Like the host is like, how do you want me to bring you up?
He said
One of
greatest.
the best
No, he said
comics.
greatest white comedian ever. I don't know
Hold
why
on
you
a
had
second.
to establish that.
From the Great White North. No, Colleen McGarr, who books the Moon Tower Comedy Festival, good friend, she was like, have you seen Chad Daniels? This is before we met you.
And I had heard your stuff on Sirius, but we hadn't like hung out. So
She's
I'm
like,
just a fan.
he is a fucking killer. Like, he just slays. And we were on the show with you at the
Antone's.
At Antone's or Speakeasy or whatever, and you were fantastic. You delivered. That's a lot of praise to come in at that level, and you delivered.
Well, that's nice.
And I love that you also come with a perspective that is not a coastal perspective, a New York or an LA perspective, which I think is very important and fresh and perfect for this podcast because
the dumb springs up. She springs up anywhere.
the dumb ghost can show up anywhere
It
we
flows
go.
freely where I live.
Right. Okay.
sure
Good.
it does.
So we do believe the world's getting dumber. Are dumb boots on the ground? There actually are smart people, but there are dumb
ground.
They're dumb boots on the dumb ground. Are D-bogs, as Brendan, our sound man, says. The D-bogs. They have sent us these stories. Dan, do you have one?
I do.
Let's do it.
Here we go. This was sent in by Ricky at Messy and Stressy.
Messy. And
All right,
stressy.
I feel all the
KKI.
time.
Right. You feel a little messy.
What was
and
that
stressy.
rap movie with Ricky? The
Ricky
Secret of
Tikki
Nymph?
Tavi? Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Yeah, that's the Secret of Nymph, right?
I think it's Nim, but you
It's
pronounce
the Rats
PH.
of Nim.
It's the Rats of Nim.
I don't remember all this.
Mrs. Frisbee.
Brisbee.
Brisbee?
Is that a Dickens novel? That's
Where are we?
Haversham, right?
Lisby? Chisby.
Chisby.
Welcome
Mrs.
back to
Shis-
Pronunciations.
Mrs.
Your host, Daniel Van Kirk.
A
This is Bell
podcast
Brothers
just
and our
about
ghost-
words.
Our guest, our ghost.
Stay with us. Mrs. Shisby will be on your show.
A few people heard that I pronounced a word wrong while making a joke about pronunciations, and it wasn't even on purpose.
Ah,
All
damn.
right, here we go. Colorado Springs, Colorado.
God's country.
It really is.
When they have
Just ask him.
When they have a book festival, it is just the Bible. That is the only Bible available at that book festival.
But various different kinds of
The King James
Everything
version.
from the King James to the
Gideon
Gideon.
version.
A group of teens smashed a van through the storefront of a Colorado Springs pot dispensary and stole a number of items on display inside.
Did they get away?
Yeah.
Okay, so
They drove, this was their plan, drive a van through the front of a store.
And
don't part of me part of
ballsy.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
Part of me says don't have an all glass front of your
And they're
pot
teens.
dispensary.
Mom, Dad, can I borrow the van?
What are you going to use it for?
What are you going to
I
use?
want to hang out with my friends.
I just love that one of these kids went in, through.
Up to, in front of, pull up in front of. Can I make one change to the plan? Right here where it says in front of.
Well, Jeff said he's just going to go in and take stuff. No,
Yeah, but why can't we
we're
all- why
going
just
in.
Jeff?
We're all
I'll
going
pull
in.
into the place. Let me pull
We're
it
not
up.
getting out of the van. Roll the windows down, whatever you can
shouting.
reach.
They're
Grab
teens,
this
so the
guy.
person
Yeah.
driving is like, guys, I'm not good at parking yet. Can we just drive through it?
What if it was a parallel parking accident where they just were trying to get in the
then they're
space?
like, well, we might as well take this.
Go right. Jesus, God, Dave.
Start grabbing stuff.
But the owners of Native Roots are the ones who got the last laugh.
Native Roots. I smashed that store just for the name.
On name
Just for the
alone,
name?
smash the shit
And
out
I
of
feel
it.
like we're getting the last laugh, right, guys?
Right, hey, right? Thank you.
That's the other thing I always wonder. People always say that, like, in what crime are people like, guys, we're going to commit this crime and we're going to get the last laugh on this?
No, Native Roots got the last laugh.
I know, but then why would they be laughing?
I don't know.
I
guess we're going to find out.
We are going to find out.
The owner told 11 News that they don't put real marijuana in the items in the display case.
That is the last laugh.
They did get the last
That
laugh.
to me, okay, I've always wanted to do this. You've been to house parties, there's a keg. For when we were younger.
I know of one of these parties.
I
O'Doul's.
would have loved
Yes.
to O'Doul's a keg
People have
and
done
just
it.
see if people start acting drunk.
Have
They
you
do
done
it.
it?
Yeah.
Have
Yes.
you been in
I'm
a party
sure.
where
Kids
it's been done?
somebody did it in Chicago. I was
To
not
O'Doul's
at the
a
party.
keg, oh my God, would be the best.
And people were just like, I'm so. Remember that Adam Sandler skit from either What the Hell Happened to Me or They're All Gonna Laugh at You? Where he's like, hey man, I'm so high. You're like, oh, you're high right now? I'm so high, man. Really? Yeah, man. Like, that's just parsley.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm drunk. Oh, you're really drunk? I'm so drunk, man.
just O'Doul's.
That's what they said. And he's
Really?
like, oh, all right. I'm on acid. And he's like, we just gave you a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, I got to go away for a minute. And then he walks away. And then they're like, what'd you do? He's like, I shot myself. We're like, there were no bullets. In that gun. It's such a good sketch.
Simple.
But yeah, that's what happened at the parties. People were like, ah. That's my drunk college kid
So
voice.
that's how dumb these guys are. They made
Or how smart Native Roots is. Can we give Native Roots a little bit of
Now
credit?
you're back on the Native Roots. You
I'm
wanted
back.
to back to their store on name alone.
But
now
we
you're
gotta give 'em
commending.
credit.
Yeah.
Don't ever put the good stuff out in the display
If
case.
you drive through the front window, is it a breaking and entering, or is
Yes.
it just breaking?
It's a
And
breaking-
destruction of
No,
property and
interesting.
criminal mischief.
It's a breaking while entering.
It's a
It's a not
Brentering.
breaking while
It's a
entering.
Brentering.
It's a Brentering?
Yes.
It would, you'd have to not break, I guess. But
Yeah.
with this fake pot,
Yeah,
those
if-
kids weren't laughing.
They weren't.
If you
So
drove,
they did get the last laugh. I love that part.
if you drive through and don't get out of your car, have you entered or you just broke?
You just
That's
broke
what
it.
I said. You just broke it.
Yeah.
You didn't really enter if you're just reaching through the
Well,
window.
you did enter the store. You
Though the-
crossed the threshold.
What if they charged them with not breaking and entering because they never used their brakes?
Right.
There
How
you
about
go.
that?
Literally
Not breaking.
Not
and
breaking
entering.
and then entering.
By not breaking, entering.
There's also a DMV teacher there being like, I'll mark off for that. The headline to this is Thieves Hit Pot Shop but only get away with oregano. So that's what they put in there. Though the teens didn't get away with what they thought, they still left a mess, so maybe they got the last laugh.
Oh, yeah.
For employees at the Academy Boulevard and Austin Bluffs Parkway shop to clean up. Add that to the Add
DPT
Native
walking-
Roots to the DPT walking
walking
tour.
tour, yeah.
Quote, the van went all the way through the front foyer of the business and inside, said Sergeant L.C. Morgan.
L.C. Morgan.
My
is
favorite
not
Pittsburgh
Elsie.
Steeler from the 70s.
Initials?
Yes.
L
Okay.
period C. Not,
I-
not E-L-S-I-E.
Elsie. I thought it was like
That'd be-
my great grandmother.
Yeah.
Elsie Woods.
You know, the cow.
Or like there's like
Old Elsie. She's
Yeah, or
not,
just-
she's not giving milk.
Yeah, but there's certain names where like older guys have what are now predominantly feminine names.
Yeah.
Like there's some guys named Connie.
Rosie
they're
Greer.
constant.
Rosie Greer.
Yeah.
Rosie Greer, Connie
So it would
Hawkins.
be kind of cool if he was
Lucille Jensen.
Yes.
I might have made that.
No, I think you made that
Deborah
up.
Browning.
Wait, there's not a Deborah Browning.
He's awesome.
Barb McGillicuddy.
Elsie Morgan.
Diane Wayne Gacy.
I mean,
He's a sergeant.
Yeah.
With the Colorado Springs Police Department. The smash and grab happened just after 1 a.m.
is that what he called it? A smash and grab?
Yeah, well, that's what they wrote here. Happened just after 1 a.m. in
Cop
front
speak.
of several witnesses. What's going on the street at 1 a.m.?
Pot shop.
People have just bought pot. They're like,
It's closed.
nothing weird happens. And just vape it out.
Dude, look at this
weird
van
happened.
coming.
Oh,
through.
shit!
They're teenagers. They probably told their friends. They're like, here's what we're going to do. We have a great spaghetti sauce recipe. We need some oregano.
Yep, and I know
So
where
we're
there's
gonna
some on
smash and
display.
grab.
Yeah.
It's
Smash
a-
and grab.
It's your typical
Old
Colorado
fashioned.
Springs smash and grab.
Quote, I was coming out of work and all of a sudden we heard this big old crash. Says, get ready for this one, Brent Rathbone. Wrathbone. That name.
I've never heard a blacker name. Brent
Rathbone.
Brent Rathbone.
He sounds like
Feel-
Bonebreaker, who was a
Bone
cop.
break. Bone
Bone
break.
Break. Yeah,
Lieutenant
Bone Breaker
Break.
is like
Bonebreaker is a
comic
game
book
you
hero.
Yeah, that's a game you play.
Rathbone.
Brent Rathbone.
Yo, Rathbone, grab your skis, man.
Let's go,
We're
dude.
going. I was,
Rathbone, what's up, man? We said 11.
I was coming out of work and all of a sudden we, so I don't know who he's with, heard this, unless he's like one of those guys that always, well, we heard this. Who was here?
The
Just
royal
me.
we.
Yeah,
The
to
royal
himself.
I'm going to guess it's Trent. I don't know.
Trent Rathbone.
Chester. Chester Stress.
There
we go.
Chester Stress and Brent Rathbone.
I was going out
Chet
from
and
work, and all of a sudden we heard
There's
this.
Chet and Brent just taking off lunch again.
We heard this big old crash. The suspects came out with bunches of marijuana in their arms. Well, it wasn't Brent Rathbone.
It really
was
wasn't marijuana.
Rathbone called police. He said suspects, I love this. Brent Rathbone said the suspects showed their gratitude with him calling the cops by throwing a beer bottle at his head. These teens don't give
By
a
the way,
shit.
and isn't that Rathbone to just go the opposite direction? Well, they showed their
Their
gratitude to me.
gratitude.
Oh, they actually showed their gratitude by throwing a beer bottle.
Oh,
Brent, come on, man. We got Raft again.
Don't you guys think that we could create a
should get boned.
Dungeons and Dragons style game of Dumb People Town?
Yes.
Where you create a character and then someone, like, it would have to be me because I've read all these, like, guides you through trying to survive through Dumb People Town.
Like a Rathbone, like a
Rathbone is like worth 12.
Right, you are mad at your stepdad. On the ground is a burrito, a broken pocket knife. Like, you have to say what you're going to pick up to fight your stepdad with.
Oh, wait, here comes Officer
A
Bone
high
Break.
school diploma. Fight him.
Is it too obvious that we call it Dungeons and Dragons?
At Sklar Brothers. Why did I do that to me?
Dan came up with it.
Dungeons
think of-
and
there's gotta
Dragons.
be-
We need to come up with Dungeons and Dragons.
Right, that's the only thing for it. Okay.
Or Dungeons and Rathbones.
Quote, this is what Rathbone said. Quote, I just decided to call the cops and we decided to get their plate number and everything. And then I get a beer bottle thrown at me? Is that rhetorical? Yes,
Why
that's how
are you
it works.
surprised?
By the
yes,
way,
the
yeah.
people that you are trying to like ring
Get
up,
arrested.
they're
Who have
gonna be
already
mad
broken a
about that.
crime.
By the way, these
Broken a
people
crime.
drove
Wow.
into a store. You're lucky they didn't try and run you down, Rathbone.
And then get this, I'm ratting on them, and then
Ratting.
of all things, they get mad at me.
I know.
You know what I don't like? They were drinking and driving.
I don't.
I don't care for that.
Rathbone has a problem with
I
you.
was
Daniels?
shocked, to be
Mad.
honest with you.
The
Bring
van,
him up for that, too.
which police have
It
since
was O'Doul's.
determined was stolen. These teens.
They stole a van?
Yes.
Wow.
They didn't want it traced. I get it.
It was left behind by the suspects,
Of course it
parked
was.
and still running, sitting well inside the store.
That is a lot of smoke coming out of the back of it.
Rathbone And he just keeps inserting himself.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for a second, officer? We're good,
We're
man.
good. We got everything
it.
we
I
need.
just remembered another thing, though.
No,
Nope, we're
sir,
good. We got everything we need.
We got it. Okay.
Article's already written and posted, sir.
But I didn't tell you this one last thing.
I know you want to, but we're going to go ahead and just...
Jeff, just take a statement. Just take.
I kind of want to hear it. What's the other thing,
What's the
Raph?
other
Well, he
thing,
keeps saying his name first. and
They
that's what-
they left it parked and running.
Oh.
It was
Yeah,
running.
we see
still.
that,
Saw-
Raph.
got it.
It's
Thanks.
still here.
Oh, you guys got that.
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, let me know if you need anything. Here's my
We're
number.
good. Nope,
Yeah.
we
We're
will
good.
not need that.
Rathbone's also the type of guy who's like, for what it's worth, really thought about being a cop. Like,
I mean, I could have passed the test.
like
but then
when
my
he's in
mom
line,
got sick.
when he's in line for a funnel cake, and the guy behind him's wearing like a veteran of foreign war hat. He's like, really thought about joining up. Proud of what you did. 'Cause I thought about it a
I
lot.
thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
We should hang out sometime. I'm super fun. I work at a bar that closes at 1.
Like the cops get so mad at him inserting himself that they pick up the bottle and throw it.
Yeah. Whoa! Here I am,
Hey.
just trying to ruin your work.
I am trying to give
He
information,
admits-
and the cops throw a bottle.
Yeah, but he
at me.
admits everything he does that pisses people off.
Here I am, just trying to tell them to do how to do their job, and these
All
guys
of a sudden, they're mad at me?
Rathbone and other witnesses told police they saw the group leave in a separate getaway car waiting on the other side of the dispensary.
This is some
These
high
kids are
level
like heat.
thinking.
They're like heat.
By the way, for their parents who are like, we've never seen these kids ever finish a project for school. This is some follow through.
Right.
All right. Can we at least just
Absolutely.
be like nice follow through?
Officers believe there were 2 people in the van when it crashed into the store and 2 others in the getaway vehicle. Native Roots is not the only place police believe the group hit overnight.
What?
How
Yep.
many vans did they steal?
Located just up the road and burglarized around the same time was the liquor store named Three Thirsty Goats.
No.
Yes.
This town.
Well, I can tell you it was around the same
Okay,
time,
no.
but before.
Oh, Rathbone.
Rathbone.
We
Hey,
got you,
we
man.
know.
Well, where
fine,
else would
thank
they
you.
get that bottle,
That's a great,
guys?
It's a
Okay.
great call. and
It's a
thank
great
you.
point. We
Yeah,
got it.
That's definitely going to be documented, Rathbone.
Duly noted.
You
sir.
guys need
There's
someone to
one
hang
more
around
thing.
to. Oh, there's
No.
more? Okay.
Okay, what,
One
Rathbone?
more. I just, I just wanted to know if you guys want to talk.
No,
No,
we got
we're
it.
good.
We got to finish.
We
Oh,
did talk
okay.
to you.
I thought we were
Rathbone.
done.
Oh, man. Okay. Officers, this is how
He's
premeditated.
like, just one more thing. If I could get a ride home.
Right.
No.
Well, you have a car here. I know. I just always wanted a ride.
Mine doesn't have lights.
All right.
Okay. Well, you keep talking to us, you might get that ride. Officers tell, this is how premeditated these teens were. Officers tell 11 News they think some of the suspects broke into that liquor store to cause a distraction while their accomplices drove into the dispensary. So maybe it literally was happening at the exact same time.
They were synchronizing watches, swatch watches.
You guys steal from the liquor store. We're going to hit up. These guys just want to have a party.
Create a
and they're
diversion.
Criminals.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
This is my problem. This is why I'm happy I'm raising kids in Los Angeles, is I think there's just too much free time to plan capers like this for
In
teens
Rochelle?
in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
The
You have
teens?
kids? You have kids.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Not my son's 19, my daughter's 14.
Okay.
Oh,
right,
my
that's right.
Lord.
So if your kids tried to put, like where you live, it's a small town.
Yep.
There's not much to do. Are you ever worried like they're gonna like
Get
get
into
into
meth?
something because there isn't enough to do?
We'll get into meth. Yes. I worried about that. But, well, it used to be. So I guess they'd get in huge trouble now. But I remember when I was in college, there was a party going on, and we went to this place called Stop and Go. It was a gas station.
Yep.
You one in
And,
Rochelle.
all right.
Know it.
And then there was a Budweiser truck and a Little Debbie's truck.
Yeah.
And we
Pull
took
up
them.
the back. You took them both.
The trucks?
Took the trucks.
Oh God.
Dude.
And then
Drove them up to the
pulled
party.
up to the party. We were like, we got the beer, we got the snacks.
Oh my God.
And then
That's legendary.
immediately, everybody was like, what in the fuck? And then we ended up taking them back and got in some decent trouble. But
what was
not-
the trouble? What was jail time or no?
No jail time, but we a lot of probation.
Yeah.
And then had to pay fines and stuff. But when we brought them back, they checked everything and everything was still there. So
Yeah,
thank
of course.
goodness. But
Yeah,
we
thank
thought
God.
it'd be hilarious just to be like, hey guys, we went to the store and we
by
got
the
these
way,
trucks.
By the way, that
Great
is-
gag.
That is hilarious.
It's a good joke.
It's a great joke. You were making jokes even back in
The
college.
guy at his house is like, yeah, dude, my I'm trying to keep this party low key right now. There's only 2 people here that are 21. We're in college.
No one has called the cops yet.
You're outside.
You just
You're air braking in front of the party.
And the 2 people that were 21 had to take 3 years of community college because that's what it was.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Perfect. It's a great, but you know what?
they're better for it.
Nice little
That's
caper.
a 4-year university party
They're
prank.
better
Yeah.
Thank you,
for
guys.
it. Thank
Yeah.
you for getting me to get my education.
The teens caused thousands of dollars
Little
in
Daddy.
damage. 11 News has previously reported on a string of similar crimes involving Springs teens, which I guess is short for Colorado Springs.
These are the break-in
Stealing
bandits.
vehicles.
I love Springsteen.
Then driving
It's my
them.
favorite
Springsteen.
singer.
Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen.
I'm driving in my van. Anyway.
They reported on a string of similar crimes involving Springs teens stealing vehicles, then driving them into businesses. This is happening on the reg in CS.
Wait. So this is like an epidemic. This
Right.
is like eating Tide Pods in other cities. Now this is
Driving
Steal
vans.
a car, drive it into the place.
Did you have to have the Tide Pod talk with your kids?
Oh, no, they're smart. They're smart.
Great.
They're very smart kids.
You're like, yeah, don't do that.
19-year-old in college?
Yes.
He's in college right now.
Yep.
Away from you or nearby? you?
2 hours away.
Okay.
That's good. That's enough.
I like that split. My kids are 5 years apart. I have a 10 and a 5, so I'm just like behind you by
My,
like
my
10 years.
yeah, my sister and I were 5 years apart, and it worked well because we weren't in any school at the
Together,
same time.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Had our
Or
own
there
lives.
and there isn't like a competition, and also like once the older one leaves, you still have someone in your house.
Yeah, that is kind of.
You're like, we still
I do
got
like
one.
that I have a straggler.
Yeah, we still got one.
What's up? You're like, are we hanging out? To your 14-year-old? What's up? I guess we're just hanging out?
She's like, no.
No.
We'll get out of here on this.
Absolutely not.
While not stating if Wednesday morning shenanigans were related, Morgan acknowledged the resemblance, probably begrudgingly.
Wait. They're not doing a connection of this.
He's like, they seem the same. Like, you mean exactly the same?
Now, is this
I'm
the
going to turn
police?
this over to Officer Rathbone, newly appointed.
Newly appointed
He'll talk
police
to you guys as much as
deputy
you
of
want.
the people.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. Like, Rathbone definitely has theories about how this is all related. He's
Sure.
got at home. He's got a huge map with all the
Yep.
Beautiful mind.
strings. Yeah,
Beautiful mind garage.
But I mean, do you think this is police speak for trying to keep it quiet? Like that they believe that
They don't
this
want to.
right? They don't want to show their cards.
I don't know. Quote: This is a quote from LC. There does appear to be a pattern with regards to similar crimes like this.
You think?
Not only with dispensaries, but with other businesses as well. Which means they're just hitting up whatever they want. Drive
So
through
if you have a storefront business,
In Colorado
you have
Springs.
to lay in your bed at night and be worried that someone's going to
gonna
drive
drive
a
through
truck
it.
through
That's
it.
the thing. That's
What you
story one, guys.
Should
Okay.
do is have like the Braveheart sticks pointed out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you drive in,
Yeah.
done.
Finished.
I think Rathbone was part of this, and I think he was there to throw off the cops.
Right. You think Rathbone questioning the cops allowed those kids to get away?
I think he called the cops to make them trust him, and then he gave them a bunch of fake information.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just got them away.
It would work. It would work.
God
Fucking
damn you, Rathbone.
But all he got was oregano anyway, which is Rathbone.
They're going to start putting, I think, like on sidewalks in front of like storefronts.
No, they're going to put the
like 2 or 3 poles, like posts,
like
like close
cement
together.
post in front of the thing.
If you gotta. That's story
I
number
would
one,
think-
guys.
I would
There
do
you
that.
go. Down
All
in the books.
Yes.
Chad Daniels is with us. This is Dumb People Town. We have more great stuff, so stay with us.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
It's a trying time that challenges all of our basic assumptions. However, one thing that brings us all together is our common humanity. Now, more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges. And Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format. Plus, tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Teams of all shapes and sizes in companies like Google, Fender, and even Costco all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. No matter what device you're using, computer, tablet, or phone, Trello syncs across all of them, so you can stay up to date on all the things your team cares about. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Our guest is Chad Daniels.
He's got 4 count them 4
killer comedy albums that are
streaming.
streamable.
You can get them on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your music.
Yep.
And your comedy albums. You get them. Your latest one was
Footprints on the Moon.
Footprints on the Moon, which I believe at some point that year was the #1 comedy album in the world, in the universe.
I think it
In the universe.
I think it was.
It was #1 for a
everywhere.
while, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
it was
way
the
up there.
#1 streamed album in 2017.
Look at that.
man.
That is ridiculous. And
Get
it is,
on that.
It is that way for a reason. So definitely check him out. And if he comes to see you live, ChadDaniels.com.
If he comes to your town to do stand-up, go see him.
Check him out. Now, this drops tomorrow, just in terms of timing. And you're in LA right now, but what is your next? Are you away
You're
this
at the
weekend?
Improv, I think.
I'm going to be at the Improv in Irvine.
Very big,
Wednesday,
very big
the
club.
17th, and then 18th through 20, I'll be at the Improv in Tempe.
Oh, in Tempe, Arizona. Fantastic.
We're going to be there in 2 weeks.
We'll be
Oh,
there
nice.
right after you at the Tempe Improv.
I'm going to leave something for you.
just a little.
in the green
and-
room.
Yeah,
Go tell
and then you're going to have to find it.
You're going to poop in the green room?
and leave clues.
I love that. Well, check him out when you get a chance to see him. Before we get into the next
Story.
story that we have some Drip members that we
do.
wanted to call out and say thank you for participating in the Drip. And if you haven't joined the Drip, we know there are thousands of you that could be joining right now. It is such a great way to get extra content.
Yeah.
And
Support this show in a very special
And
way.
we're deliberate about these. We're reading these in the order of the people who signed up. So you got in early. You've probably already heard your name or you're going to hear it soon. And I don't like when podcasts do like, here's 45 names or here's 60 names
No, we
because they
wanna-
just rattle them off.
No,
we want
no,
to
no.
take enough time to actually say thank you to each of you guys. And also, if sometimes in podcasts you hear 45 names, you're like, how can I skip through this? Don't skip through this because these people are part of our town and we want to thank them
I don't want to skip
personally.
over Andrea Lewis. Neither do
Why
you
would
want to
you?
skip over Andrea
No,
Lewis.
I don't.
I like to take my time. I like to get nice and wide when I read
The other
Chris.
fun thing is us
Chris Widener.
That's what I was gonna say.
I get
is
wide
us
with-
deciding how to say
I
a
was saying
name.
Widner.
I get wide.
See, I was too. I'm on the J, and Jay wins so
All
many
right,
of the
fine.
guesses that I'm
Widner.
gonna go. with
Widner
Widner.
sounds like a
I
pear
might just
cider.
I might just walk out of here on this next one on Kelsey Walker.
There you go.
Do I walk out of here on Kelsey Walker?
Kelsey Walker, Texas Ranger.
I can't. I will never at Sklar Brothers. You guys doing this to any of these names? but it
Lisa
is
Van Ameren.
Like, these are.
She's got to
softballs.
be from Wisconsin.
Lisa Van Aberen sounds like a special fan that you turn on that doesn't have blades, but it rotates.
Does it
Oh,
also?
yeah.
Does
Yeah.
Lisa Van Ameren oscillate back
Always,
and forth?
always.
Van
also.
Ameren is like also like the nicest ottoman you can buy.
David J. Bascombe.
Bascombe.
Esquire.
If he doesn't go by DJB.
Okay.
DJ.
I cannot
DJ
wait.
Basco.
If this next name is not from this is the founding family of Wisconsin.
Alicia Brosterhouse. Alicia Brosterhouse.
have you
that's Milwaukee.
had the brats at Broster House? They're
Hold on.
unbelievable.
You guys got to try it.
Yeah,
It's great.
Brosterhouse is like when you're like you went to a different fish fry place than you normally go to,
Well,
and you keep telling everybody else they should try it out.
Guys, you got to go to Broster House. First of all, they give you a beer while you're waiting.
Right.
They give you that
They
little
give you
thing.
a beeper and a beer.
A
at
beeper and a
Brosterhouse.
beer at Brosterhouse.
Marshall O'Connor.
Marshall O'Connor.
Sandra Day O'Connor of this list.
Seth Krinsky.
Grinsky.
Okay.
Go for it.
Gemma LaJoy.
Lahoy.
What if it's Gemma LaJoy?
LaJoy.
I'm wrong, but
Gemma,
yeah, Gemma.
or I think it's Gemma LaJoy. If we're getting that wrong, dear,
It could
I'm
also be
so
La
sorry.
Hoya.
La Hoya.
I don't know.
John, and then of course this one might be really hard. John Daniel. If he has one more name, he's a serial killer. John Daniel. Thank you to
John Daniel Gacy.
John Daniel Van
Gacy.
Kirk.
Hey, thank you to everybody who did this, and we really appreciate you. Join the
100%.
Drip. You guys would love it.
It
and
is
love the
not
extra
a big
content.
deal, and yet it is a big deal because it gives you all kinds of extra stuff and really supports the show. I think we're pushing up around 500. I want to get to 5,000.
I do
think we
too,
can
and
do
I
that.
think we can do that. All right, let's jump back in.
Yep, this was sent in by David J. Bascombe at Mr. David J., who I think we recently, or no, yeah, right?
in this.
In this.
Yes.
yes,
we
yes.
yeah,
mentioned
we have a. You're gonna hear that. Okay.
DJ Bascombe.
DJ Bascombe does sound like a guy who's like a country guy who all the people in the rap world just trust. They're like, I know he shows up in overalls,
He
but
looks
like
racist, but
he's
he's all right.
incredible. DJ Bascombe.
Who do you guys want to sample for this? Well, DJ Bascombe.
Should we get a DJ Bascombe? Let's get a Bascombe. Let's drop
He's
a
got
Bascombe
he has
beat on
those
this
fresh
shit.
beats.
Yeah.
A woman who tried a spicy food challenge. This is also a little gross. Just so everybody knows. I've told you. A woman who tried a spicy food challenge and
Shit
ended up
through her eyeballs.
with a stay in the hospital and bleeding from the bum, has vowed to never do it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Has vowed to definitely do it again.
Did she say definitely do it again?
She's like, if I had a chance, I would do this again.
Yes.
As like blood is trickling out of her
She
asshole.
took a spicy food challenge. It ruined her to the point where she had to go to the hospital, and she's like, I'm going to do this again.
Once my anal fissures heal,
Right.
I'll go ahead and pump up the volume
Sign me
again.
up. Re-rack them. Let's go.
Hey, man, blood clots, friendships don't.
Shannon, Shannon. Shannon.
Yeah.
Shannon.
Shannon.
No, thank you.
Golding
You just said no, thank you.
was rushed to the hospital, pooing blood, a day after chomping down on the infamous Samyang hot chicken flavor cup ramen as part of a viral spicy ramen challenge.
Okay. So this is
so
the
she's not
internet.
even, so she's not even like at a wings contest.
Okay, I
No.
thought she
Right.
had friends. I thought this was like,
she
hey, we're
does.
all
One
I
of
thought
them-
there was a
one of them does
crowd.
it with her.
No, there was a crowd of people at a bar going like,
Let's
eat,
go
eat.
have this ghost pepper, and you're like, I understand the peer pressure, but the internet made her do this.
That's the other thing, too. is like,
Spicy ramen challenge.
if you're going to
Dan?
eat something and put your body on the line for it, at least get a free shirt. At
Yeah,
least
I think so.
get a
Do you
free
eat spicy
shirt.
food? Are you a spicy food?
I like spicy food.
I love
yeah.
spicy food.
What's
Can
the?
you?
Can you go like? Can
What's
you
the
dial it all the way
spiciest
up?
you can go?
Can't
Do you,
eat it.
would you, if someone said, "Here, eat this ghost pepper," would you
Yeah,
try it?
no.
You could do
But
it.
like-
Could you do
like-
that?
Absolutely not.
No.
me neither.
But like if they're like that Thai food and they're like it's spicy, like it's got.
What's the
it's-
place? Jitlada is a Thai place.
there it is. It's
Wow.
up on the thing. Oh my
We're
god!
seeing a picture of it right now. So I guess this
That's
is a
the
type of
spicy
ramen that is spicy.
There's fire.
So you're not even doing
on
anything
it.
to it. You're just eating something that's supposed to be
First of all,
insanely
the
spicy.
packages of purple that you normally don't see in the world.
Can I tell you something, guys?
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a townie listening to this who's eating this.
Yeah.
To let you know my spicy palate,
Yeah.
I live in a town where the Mexican restaurant is called Taco John's.
Gotcha.
There's a
even-
gentleman named John making the tacos.
You're rolling heat.
May as be wrapped in
rolling
a,
Wrapped in this white bread.
yeah,
What is it?
absolutely. Yeah, it's
Hot
potatoes.
chicken flavored ramen. I never went through a ramen stage.
Taco
Even in
John's is
college.
the only place where white people are taking Mexicans' jobs in this country.
Taco John's.
Taco John's.
Did you guys ever fuck with ramen?
Yeah.
I've had ramen, yeah.
My kids love ramen.
Well, there's
more than-
there's an amazing ramen restaurant right
Well, that's
here in the
real.
valley.
That's real ramen.
I'm talking
You're talking
about
about the package ramen.
Top
that you-
ramen,
I
yeah.
make it. I
Yes.
make it for my kids all the time.
we used to, we bought cups of it.
Cup of,
I
it's
never
like
went through
cup
a
of
Cup of
noodles.
ramen. Cup of ramen. Yeah.
Never
All right,
good.
this looks like every indication on here. There is a person with, is it her thumb up or a finger up, kind of saying
It's like it looks like the chef.
she's screaming something. Oh, she looks completely
I think
white.
it's
I think
thumb.
it's a chicken.
Is that a chicken?
think she has a
I think
beach.
it is a chicken, and they're giving you the thumbs up. You get to
Chickens-
see this on the Dumb People
Chicken's
Town
giving you a
Facebook
thumbs up.
page.
Now then there's like 4 or 5 peppers in the upper right corner of the fire and the word mala, which mal in Spanish means bad,
but this is ramen. It's a different thing. It looks like it's
could be
Korean?
something else.
No idea. I'm going to tell people don't eat it or do eat it and tell me how
What
it
does it
went.
Jay, say? Hot chicken
Flavor ramen.
Hot is all caps.
Hot is all caps.
Yeah.
So that's some
all
serious
They're
shit.
like, don't mess with this unless you want to, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, the character is that chicken is bleeding from its anus.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it.
There's a little spot
I
behind it.
thought I had to have a procedure, a camera put in my body because I had blood in my stool. And then after this, everything goes down. The doctor goes, everything's fine with you. I don't know why you would have done this. He goes, do you eat beets? And I said, no, I don't eat beets. And then I remembered that I'd eaten half of a red velvet cake the day before. I found blood in my stool. And so I had this whole procedure done because I had a
Food
fucking
coloring.
cake.
Red velvet.
cake.
That should have been on your list of, hey, do not eat any red velvet cake before
No,
you
but
have
that
a camera
should be
up your
that
ass.
should be something you remembered before you waited.
I completely agree.
You like
the fact that Chad
you're
Daniels
allowed
was
to have the
asked-
red velvet cake. You're allowed to be concerned about seeing coloring in your stool, but at some point before you have
have
a
to put-
camera put inside of you, you have
say,
to put one
Did
and
I
one together.
eat anything
I
yesterday?
forgot. I was in a golf match, and the guy brought me red velvet cake because he knew it would distract me. And by the end of it, I was being an asshole and putting with one hand and just eating making handfuls on the green.
and still beating him.
And
Like
still-
you're the king of a country that doesn't exist.
Just dropping red velvet all over the green.
And then dropping it into
Well,
your
no,
toilet
I was
bowl.
very careful to get it.
You were eating
yeah.
all of it. You're getting all of it inside.
But then, the next day I was like, oh no, something's wrong with my
Yeah.
body.
It was you ate all that cake.
That's like when my
You're a
kids would
cake
eat
eater.
like cupcakes with like green icing on it, and their stuff would come out like fluorescent green, and you're like, "Did you eat an alien? What happened?"
So, all right.
Shannon Golding.
She is Shannon.
Shannon Golding. She was rushed to the hospital with all of her blood because she tried to do the spicy ramen challenge. Shannon was with pal Keelan Unsworth
That is not a real name.
when they videotaped themselves.
Keelan Unsworth.
Yep. When they videotaped
third.
themselves doing the challenge. And despite her diagnosis and doctor's warnings, the woman has vowed to do it again, this time with even hotter noodles. Why do
This
you hate
is
yourself?
why-
So
this is
she's
why the
a
world's
dummy.
getting dumber.
She's a dummy to try it, but then she becomes a member of Dumb People Town by saying,
I'm
do
going
it
to do it
again.
again.
This is actually what that Britney Spears song is about.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. Poops. I did, poops,
Poops, I did it again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Shannon from Greater Manchester, something like Wigan, said,
know Wigan.
I would say this challenge was deadly, but it was definitely a successful challenge.
Why? How is it successful that you're shitting
Quote,
blood?
I thought I'd be able to to complete it all, but I didn't ever think I'd end up in the hospital.
How is that successful? I
don't know.
Please define success. Maybe she's defining success in a
like-
way that we can't
It's like
see.
that episode of Arrested Development where Job says he'll break out of the prison, and then he gets stabbed, and he wakes up from his stabbing, and he goes, "Where am I?" And he goes, "You're in a hospital."
I did it.
Outside of the prison, and he goes, "Ta-da!"
Do you know how people speak a little differently when they're reading because they have to go from word to word? I believe that Shannon actually talks like that, so I think this is perfect.
This is her. So I was, success
After
story.
we ate it, I started getting really bad pains. So did Keelan, but his weren't as bad as mine. Here's a gross alert. Later, this is gross alert for the listener. I'm telling you.
Trigger happy. If you need to listen.
Later on the next day, I went to the toilet. It was just pure blood. Quote, so I had to go to the ER, and they were asking me if I had hemorrhoids or things like that. I didn't, but I have IBS, and I ate spicy noodles. I think you found the recipe.
Yeah.
Quote, I was telling the
Sounds
doctors
like a great catch.
and
I'm
nurses,
just saying that right now.
I was telling the doctors and nurses about it, and they just started laughing at me. This is the best hospital
Let
I've
me
ever
finish
heard
that.
of.
She sounds like a great catch for Chuck Berry.
She says, I told the doctors and nurses, they just started laughing at me.
Of
That
course.
is,
I
mean,
found out that the spicy noodles had triggered me to start bleeding. You
Like
didn't
if you
draw
told
that
but
together.
by the way,
you
that is an
idiot.
English hospital. Like if you told me that there's a hospital in England where they still smoke, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
They laughed at her.
Quote, I was in pain, but I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just laughing at the fact that it made me go to the hospital.
So you're laughing and they're laughing. You made it okay for them to laugh.
all my family was there.
Her asshole is laughing in some ways.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
It's just
It's
stuff
throwing
that's coming
up.
out.
It's laughing so hard. Quote, all my family were there telling me I was a dope. They were all panicking, and I just found it really funny. This person is going to weed herself out of this planet within a year.
This is part of natural
Right?
selection.
Right, and she's trying hard. She's leaning in on that.
I'd like a dumb people, where are they now? And we find out.
Yeah, let's do the where. Let's check back
We
in
have a
with
lot
her.
of dumb people. Where have they been? Like,
But I would
Where
like
were
to
you?
see where this woman is after another hot ramen challenge.
right. All my friends were like, well, that's typical Shannon.
Oh,
That's
God.
Shannon for you.
So I was talking about golf. There was one time I was playing in St. Louis.
We were there. I was there,
You
too.
were with
Yeah.
me. We were in St. Louis. We're playing on a public course.
Kind of course, we're like in St. Louis, where like someone will not be wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
And we're
That's
like
type of
just
golf.
like
jeans,
jean
flip-flops.
Jean shorts,
Flip-flops,
and yeah,
golfing.
And the guy's saying they're having this conversation, and like we're on the whole.
We're going to the green,
And
they're
they're
on
coming
the
the tee for
Okay.
the next one. So like we're hearing a lot of their conversations as we're coming up the fairway.
but
and
just snippets.
snippets of it, and they're just talking about this girl that apparently they all knew, quote unquote. Her name was Sherry, and they're just like, "This about Sherry, and she's doing this." And then just this guy is like, he just kind of had enough of the whole conversation. He's like, "Well, that's Sherry for you."
And then
And this has lived in the lexicon of the
That's
scholars.
Sherry for you.
Well, they
that's
also-
Shannon for you.
That's Shannon for you.
Quote, or not a quote. Oh, yes, it is a quote. I have a reputation for doing stuff like this.
Well,
Stop.
that's Shannon for you.
Just stop. Don't you want a reputation for not doing things like this?
Once.
Well, see, but then, okay, so I have a
Her
question.
identity is wrapped up in her
Okay, so
stupidity.
that's my question. Do you ever know someone that was so stupid that like in their heart of hearts, they didn't want to do stupid stuff anymore, but that's who they were.
But it's like the horrible
Steve-O.
laugh. Right? Somebody once in the office was like, that laugh is adorable. And now everywhere they go, and it's awful. That's
don't
awful.
encourage that.
I was saying, like,
is there a billy goat in here?
like the jackass guys. Like, I feel bad for them. At some point, don't they want to be like, I don't want to ride off a cliff.
I don't want to
in
jerk off going out of a helicopter.
I don't want to do that.
I do.
yeah, I was just going to say
Does that sound fun?
To myself.
that's Chad for you.
It's Chad for you. He'll do it.
Once I was doing a drinking challenge and I took a shot and ended up chipping my tooth. I've just got a reputation for being the dopiest friend. Shannon, you don't have to live this life. Quote, I made friends with quite a few people in the hospital and they were all like, I feel like I'm reading her
She's like-
summer report.
She's like,
How was your
a
summer?
community in here.
I made friends with quite a few people in the hospital, and they were all asking what I was in for. And I said, well, I ate some spicy noodles. They were laughing their heads off at me.
Yeah, Dad, she doesn't have any periods. Her entire life is a run-on sentence.
One was like, I'm here because I've had a stroke, and you're here because you ate noodles.
And boy, did we share a great laugh. And then I started bleeding out of my asshole
And
again.
then I
And my
went to
mom
the-
and Dad said that was a bad
My
thing.
friends
But
were
not my
laughing
real
at
dad, because my real dad left when I was
3,
6.
and I never understood why. But then
So
I
I-
started bleeding again, and I figured it out.
So I've been taking the No Dad Challenge for 12 years.
And you know
No
what?
dad challenge.
And you know what? I'm gonna do it again. Dial up the spices.
But then one day, okay,
I'm gonna make a guess here, and this is all on
Shoot.
me. This
Shoot,
is Chad
brother.
talking.
yeah,
Shannon's overweight.
maybe,
don't know.
I said
maybe
it.
not.
Maybe
said
not.
it.
Maybe not after the noodles.
When you chip a tooth doing a shot in a shot challenge for attention, that's overweight.
Or she could just be like Shelley Duvall thin.
Yeah, she's one end of the spectrum. She's probably not up the middle. She's
I'd say
either-
no matter what she is, she's very comfortable in her skin.
Oh, she
I
doesn't
actually
give a
think
F.
she does not care. And she will, the very fact that she's like, I will do this again.
This person's like, I had a stroke and you're here for eating noodles. And Shannon's like, isn't that hilarious?
Look at
You
us.
had a stroke.
Quote,
Isn't that funny?
It was
No,
funny,
Shannon.
though. I showed them all the video, and they were all laughing
The
at
video
me.
of what?
I don't know, but what if the patients were like, I think they sent this woman in here to make us feel better about ourselves? It's like a Patch Adams sort
She's
of
like,
deal.
No, her name is Ass Adams.
Yeah.
like a dog in the waiting room,
Yeah.
just to calm you.
Shannon's
Ready
our
for this?
comfort animal.
She's a service,
She's leaning in,
service
guys.
Shannon.
She's leaning in. Quote, the doctors warned me to stay away from spicy food, but I put jalapenos in everything, and I've eaten, and I've never had any problems with it. He said, I guess that's the doctor, I'm just advising you. It's up to you whether you do it again, but I'm advising you not to. But he was laughing when he said it, and I'm still eating jalapenos with everything.
I know you went to school for 10 extra years, but fuck you.
I think I know my
I
body
kind
better
of like
than you
her
do.
now.
She's unbelievable.
In the video film last night, Shannon and Keelan struggled to breathe as they chomp on the $1.25. Oh, it's a pound. I don't know.
Pound
It
and a
hasn't been
half,
converted.
$2, $3
Of noodles
It's
as
not
quickly
much.
as they can during the challenge. While Keelan complained of shoulder pain and
Hey, here's something that should never happen after you eat ramen is have your shoulder
How
pain.
hot is that ramen? Rotator cuff injury hot.
He probably threw the spoon so hard after his first bite.
Then things got spicy when Keelan complained of shoulder pain, and I watched his glasses steam up. Shannon said. Then Shannon said, "quote."
Shoulder.
Shannon said, "quote fucking hell. I've only got a bit left, and I can't breathe. She can't breathe.
That's a moment where you say to yourself, what life do I want?
This
Right.
is not worth it. Why am I doing this?
Because what happens when we become adults is that we become our own parents in some ways, and we police our own behavior. Some people, like this woman, is like, F that.
Keelan manages to swallow the whole pot in just 1 minute and 35 seconds. But Shannon gives up and chugs water, 7-Up, and then milk to counteract the noodle's spiciness. She claims she thought other people had been exaggerating the heat before completing the challenge, but rethought that after the first mouthful when it, quote, it felt like her throat was swelling up.
Yeah.
Quote, it was so spicy, I thought my life was going to end. And when I and when I have the rest of it. At that point, we accepted that people weren't over-exaggerating the vehicles. It actually hurt really bad. I definitely do it again. I left a bit of the noodles at the end, so I want to do it again to compete it all. She's a completist.
What? I mean, look, first of all, she does have follow-through. You got to appreciate that.
Yep.
Two,
You started
even in
something.
the face of terrible and difficulty, she is still trying to make people laugh.
Quote, we're just going to die again. I hope I don't end up in a hospital again, but it's going to be crazy.
I could see her walking in a room with a string hanging out of her asshole,
Yeah.
and Keenan's just like, noodles? Here we go.
There we go.
It's time.
By the way, that would be my nickname for her.
Noodles?
Noodles?
Noodles.
Noodles?
Absolutely.
We'll get out of here on this. I'm going to ask you guys. They're the same age. How old is Shannon and
Keelan.
Keeneland.
Keeneland is a racetrack in Kentucky.
No, Keelan.
Keelan.
Too much fun leaves marks in life. Living hard, you'll pay the price. Who is gonna get it right? Guess the age. Guess the age.
You can go first. You go first, Tig, or third.
You pick. Tig is the second spot. You pick what spot you want to go in. You're our guest.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna set
How
the pace
old
here.
do you think Shannon and Keelan are?
I'm going to say they are 38.
Wow. 38 years old.
Wow.
Randy or Jason?
I'm going to say, Jay, I'll go before you. I'm going to say that they're 23 years old.
23 years old.
Out of school, but still sad that they're out of school.
Gotcha.
They're 28.
28 years
Saturn
old.
is returning for both of them.
You said 30.
I say 38 overweight.
38 overweight.
overweight.
I say 23 feeling free.
Let's say 28. Just can't wait.
Shannon, who couldn't complete the hot ramen spicy
And couldn't care
challenge,
less what her doctor
But-
told
And
her.
has
Made
never
the-
used a period in conversation ever.
and made the day for a
Is
lot
having a
of
period out of her asshole
Yep.
right now.
terminally ill people.
Mm-hmm.
She brightened their day with the blood from her butt.
Snatch Adams.
Get your answers in now. Because she is 20 years old. Randy's so happy. He threw a fucking, like you had just hit a
Like
home run.
Texas Longhorns up in this.
Let me just say this.
Vince Young.
And now that I know how old she is, I do not think she makes it to 38.
There's no way.
I don't.
Come on, Shannon,
take,
we're rooting for
take
you.
control of your life in the right way. All right, there's 2 stories down. Dan, give me a little teaser of what we're going to see in the third segment.
We just have a fun, dumb story. Nobody broke any crime. Well, they broke a crime, but it's not bad.
It's
Broke
just
a
fun.
crime
more
or
of a
broke
fun
a rule?
story.
Broke a
Committed
rule
a
or
crime or broke a
rule?
crime?
Committed a rule.
Broke a rule. All right.
a rule and
Committed a rule and broke a crime. All right, we'll be back with more Chad Daniels, Dumb People Town, right after this.
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
Hey guys, welcome back to DPT. We love having you guys here, as we mentioned earlier. Thanks for joining the Drip. Please keep doing that. Come see us live at the All Things Comedy Festival. Those tickets will sell out. We just spoke to Bert Kreischer. I think he's going to be our guest on that show.
That's fun.
Which is fantastic. Live in Phoenix.
That's Thursday night in Phoenix.
And then Friday we're at the Tempe Improv.
Right.
But go if you're in Phoenix, go see Chad Daniels at the Tempe Improv this weekend, as it is, and then come back and see us on Friday night. Do a headline set there.
Yeah,
the
and then I'll be
26th.
back there in Arizona. I'll be in Phoenix on the 14th, that Wednesday. Leading up to that, I'll be on
November.
tour of November, yes. And leading up to that, I'll be on my tour all up and down the West Coast. Go to danielvankirk.com if you want to see me in Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, LA,
San Diego,
Eugene,
and
Bellingham.
supersklars.com for our dates too. ChadDaniels.com to check him out. He is fantastic. I guarantee you it'll be one of your favorites.
You'll say thank you to us.
You can also go to BrentRathbone.com.
Oh, Brent Rathbone.
I did just pick that up after the
You did?
during the
Okay, good.
break.
I love that you got that during the break. BrentRathbone.com.
It's just a page.
It's explanations of crimes that have already happened.
Right, and it's a landing page. That's
It's a guy in a press conference just waving behind the guy talking.
Perfect.
BrentRathbone.com.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's hear it.
Let's get out of here. This was sent in by Liz Haggerty, at Liz Haggerty. She sends in a lot of
Sends
stuff.
in a
Liz,
bunch.
I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Liz.
Thank you.
All right. Minersville, Pennsylvania. Is that the most Pennsylvania name for a town?
Minersville.
Minersville.
Like everyone has just soot on their face.
A whole bunch of men and women who didn't even want to
black lung.
get creative at all. They're just there to work.
They just show up at a factory that is.
Oh, you thought it was a minor league baseball team?
I went with people drinking underage. That's immediately what I thought.
Minersville.
It's like the donkey town
Everybody.
in Pinocchio. It's just a whole bunch of kids doing whatever they want.
Just a bunch of young teen boys making you smell their fingers. That's what I have.
And driving vans into storefronts.
You roll through that town.
Yep.
The Minersville Police Department just received a payment for a parking ticket from 1974.
Wow.
Yes.
That's follow
Minersville Police Chief Michael Combs, I have a cousin named Michael Combs, said he received a letter in the mail last week.
Of course, it was in the mail. It was not an email because whoever is paying for this does not have an email.
He was like, I was just waiting for ePay.
Michael Combs. He also looks exactly. I'll put a
Michael
picture
Combs.
on
Michael
Facebook.
Combs, a
Let me
man
guess,
who's never used a comb.
Amber vision glasses, comb over haircut.
You're close. he has the deal where he got his uniform 20 years ago.
And
he hasn't gotten the neck resized
at
at all.
So there's a lot of neck
Overflow,
squeezed out
neck
of it.
flow.
Yeah, like you can kind of see in this photo here how
We'll put
much
this
of
on the
his
Facebook
neck is
page.
like hanging over.
It's got a lot of neck
a lot
hanging
of
out.
jowl action.
Michael
I
Combs.
lived in California when I was 21 years old, and I got a job at Claim Jumper. It's a restaurant.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I've never.
know it.
Well, maybe I've been to one.
We had to use bolo ties or wear them.
Really?
So we had to button our
Top
shirt
button.
up all the way up. And I remember offering some people dessert as my double chin was over. And the guy goes, well, not if it's going to make me that fat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know. That's harsh.
I'm like, you're at Claim Jumper, where like no one can finish any plate of
Yeah,
food.
right.
That's how much food they give you at Claim Jumper.
He jumped your claim.
It was brutal.
Damn.
Not just going to make me that, but you're not even that big of a guy.
Well, that's nice.
Were you that
Christ's
big
sake.
back then?
Maybe.
All right.
Michael Combs said, quote, he read it. It's addressed, of course, for some reason, I don't know.
Right.
It's addressed, of course,
Of course, he says in the most derisive way ever.
to the police department.
Of course.
With the return address. This is the return address on the letter. Feeling guilty, Wayward Road, Anytown, California. So the person also is like, I don't want you to know where I am, but I'm going to be
fuck
cute
wrote
about
this?
it.
Robert Durst? What is happening?
In the
Spelled
letter,
Beverly with an extra E.
What?
in the letter, there was a parking ticket from 1974, along with some cash and a note. The note said, "Dear PD," write it out. You're not friends.
Police department. Yeah.
I've been carrying this ticket around for 40 plus years, always intending to pay. Forgive me if I don't give you my info. With respect, Dave.
The fact that
Dave Rathbone. Dave Rathbone, one of the best managers in the business.
Dave Rathbone.
No, but there is something. Number one, he's definitely taken better care of this parking ticket than his own children.
Oh, yeah.
We know that. Like, that's something he's taken care of for 40 years. 44 years.
Yeah.
He got
100%.
away with it.
I can't carry something around for a week without it ending up in the washing machine.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
right.
40 years is very
So where do you
impressive.
think he kept it? In the
In
wallet?
the glove compartment.
None
in
of you
his
guys
wallet.
are fat wallet receipt guys, are you?
I am. I'm a fat wallet receipt guy.
And it's just like a ton of receipts
I
in
got to
there.
get him
It's
out.
stupid.
I got to get him
I
out.
mean, it's thick.
Jay.
Jay.
That's how I get sciatica.
It is really.
Everything's got to
Isn't
go in the
that
front
what?
pocket.
Isn't that what? What's his name shouted in that movie?
Sciatica.
Sciatica.
That's who's saying, and my ass hurts and my back is causing me
Wait,
problems.
so
With respect,
Al
Dave.
Pacino.
Not a lot of respect. 40 fucking years, man. How much
Serpico.
respect do you
by
have?
the way, you got away with it. It's a victimless crime.
Did he pay with any interest?
Well,
Does it say?
the ticket was written in 1974. Would you guys like to guess how much this ticket was for in 1974 that it took him 40 years to pay
Parking
it.
ticket?
Yes. You can go first, Tig, or third.
I'm going to say $4.
$4. Okay. Jason or Randy?
I think 15.
Randy says 15.
10.
10.
$15.
Since the ticket, get your answers in right now, Townies, because since the ticket was written in the 1970s, it was for a total of $2.
Oh, my God. I thought you were way too low. $2.
The chief
You
said
said $4?
Yeah, I was under the impression he got 2 tickets, so I was.
Oh, that's a good point. Good
the
point.
chief said the person
Multiple.
who paid it was kind enough to add $3 in interest. So you're right. There
Wow,
did pay some
interest.
interest.
$5.
Interesting.
Quote,
you guys.
All right.
No one sleep on that joke. Quote, he paid us $5, Mike Combs said. So that's 44 years later. So that means I made $3. I can't retire on that. I don't think Chief Combs understands how
Can't retire
tickets
on
work.
that.
You don't get the money from the citation. Indirectly, you do.
Well, no, I mean, they'll pay the
I don't like
citation
them.
and he'll
I don't
take
like
the
them.
$3.
He's like, I can't retire on that, which also shows you he's thinking about retiring every day.
He's been thinking about retiring for a long time.
Well, of course he has. He's a dirty cop, and he admits it in news stories.
Look, I fell down. I didn't break my leg. I can't retire on that.
The chief said that type of ticket would cost someone today $20. I want to go to Minersville. They're only giving out $20 tickets. $20. If you got
$65 here in LA.
That's the thing. People are always like, I can't believe this was an $87 ticket, and they're mad in LA, right? And I'm like, you understand that if that ticket was anywhere shy of
In
$40,
Minersville, it's $20.
but I'm saying if in LA your ticket is $20 for being parked where you're not
People
supposed
will
to,
be like,
people would be, who gives a shit?
gives a shit?
Nobody would
I
care.
found a parking space. How much is it? It's less than $20.
Nobody would care if it was $35.
They have to
leave
deter
your
you.
car out there.
They have to deter you.
Yes,
somehow.
yeah.
And it's the worst. I mean, it's like you see the people rolling up, and you're just like,
You know, I got a parking ticket for just having like my wheel into the red. It was the only place I could park here in Burbank. and so I was mad at any parking attendant anywhere. I was so pissed. I was only in the place for 10 minutes. I was parking in like sort of West Hollywood, and I saw a parking guy start to drive up near my car, and I hadn't paid yet. And I got on my car, and I was going to go over and be like, I'm going to pay, dummy. All right? I'm going to the meter. Don't do this to me. I go up with like heat to the guy.
yeah, you're coming in
so
hotter than like a hot ramen.
This
through
guy,
someone's asshole.
This guy is the crossing guard guy from my son's school, who I always give a pound to, and who I love, who is so nice to all the kids. Robert, from right by our school, and I was like, "Listen, man, hey, Robert,
Need to change gears.
how you doing? Listen, man, I had no idea you had another job." No, I was like screwed because I came in so hot, and
You were mad. You were
He
on
gave
tilt
you
from
he
the
gave
other
you a
one.
ticket, didn't he?
and he gave me a ticket.
That's
No, it was really, really great because I was like, now I shouldn't judge any of these people.
The chief said that ticket would cost someone $20 today. He said the ticket was for a car with Ohio plates. Back then, the department didn't have the technology to keep track of out-of-state cars.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this the other day. I'm like,
By the way, you could commit, which
I
tells
know.
me like you could have murdered so many people in like the 1970s. Like you get
oh,
away
I
with
was
it.
watching a movie recently, and
Just
I was
get away
like,
with
man,
it.
it'd be so easy to rob a bank in the 70s.
Yeah, just get away with it.
I love how they have a price point for current tickets, but no one's parked in Minersville since '74.
No, nobody's even been there.
The last
Just a
person
cop
to
in an
park
empty
there.
town and a whole
You
bunch of
don't-
kids.
I think it's like $20. I mean, I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be any red zone. Like, you should be able to park anywhere.
He's still blown away that anyone would keep a ticket this long, let alone pay it. Quote, we do appreciate that this individual paid their ticket. And again, we encourage other individuals, if you have an outstanding ticket, please pay it. I was like,
come
bring it
on.
back.
Don't get on a
PSA.
soapbox.
Knock it out.
Get out of here.
Shut up.
jerk.
It's like when you're at a funeral and they're like, you know what, we should take this time to see who here wants to commit Jesus Christ. I'm like, can we not today.
It's not
Shut
what today is
up.
for.
Not what today's for.
Did he
We're
go there?
burying
Because
this
I'm
thing.
out. If he's up there,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
The chief said he'd like to track the person down who paid the ticket just to say thank you and chat.
No way. He's
Yeah.
going to arrest him. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do
I
it.
just want to have a couple words with you inside this cell.
Yeah, I just want to lock him up and throw away
I'll be
the
on
key.
the outside. You'll be on the inside.
I know. Don't do it feeling guilty.
Dave,
Don't do it.
Dave, don't.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a ticket in a rental car and then you throw it away and forget about it?
Yes.
So you have to pay the rental car fee that they charge you.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay the ticket, but it's over 30 days because the rental car doesn't tell you about it till past 30 days.
Yeah.
And that's how you teach your kids what exponentially means.
It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Remember when this was just $30? It's now 30 to the fifth power.
That's 3 stories.
Look at
guys.
Let me ask you this: would you, if you had that ticket and it was fine, it was all, you wouldn't pay that 40 years
40
later?
years later?
No.
Yeah, I would walk it in
Walk it in
for the
Dan.
bit, just to be like, I might get 5 minutes out
What
of
if
it.
it in pennies?
What if it ruined Dave's life? And he's been sitting there. This has been the conundrum of his whole
Before
life.
he's about to die. Maybe.
It's his
On his
telltale heart.
deathbed.
It's 44 years.
Yeah, that thing. It's like he feels the heartbeat of it in his
pulsing
wallet.
in his
Maybe he was taking a
sciatica.
flight for the first time ever, and he goes, not without paying this ticket.
No, and he said to everybody, not without settling my debts.
Yeah, he's got to settle up
I
at the
got a
bar.
score to settle.
I love it.
All right, that's 3 stories.
Holy
friends.
shit! I love it. ChadDaniels.com. Check him out live. Get it. Stream his albums. Footprints
You will
on
thank
the
us
Moon.
for it.
You will thank us for it. I'm so happy that you are in this city and that we could do this.
This was a
together.
blast. I'm glad it worked out. Thanks a lot.
I love it. And oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
It's a good show.